This is TaskSpoon, the series where I aim to complete the collection log by doing one randomly generated task at a time. After completing the medium tier, I'm ready to attempt some of the longest and hardest challenges yet as I move on to the hard tier. Welcome to Season 3 of TaskSpoon. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 111 of the TaskSpoon series. In the last video, I did a bunch of things. Honestly, there's too many to recount here. The majority of the time was I spent about 20 hours killing worms to get some Dragon Throne axes. But we ended the video by rolling a task to get 2 new uniques from Elite Clues, which in the 14 caskets that I had banked, we managed to get 1, which means we still need to get 1 more Elite Clue unique. So I am going to do that here at the Gauntlet in hopes of getting an armor seed or 2 or 6 along the way. That way I'll actually have some crystal armor to use with my Bofa. And yeah, it's just a good way to get Elite Clues in the first place. So yeah, back to the Corrupted Gauntlet. I did just recently post an episode that was almost entirely Corrupted Gauntlet, so if you want to see more of that, I would recommend going and checking out episode 108. But for this episode, I think I'm just going to show you the cool stuff, any cool drops, any PBs, any achievements, stuff like that, and hopefully try and keep this segment a little bit shorter. Obviously, we are here for Elite Clues, so I'll be here as long as it takes. But yeah, unless I get something cool, probably not going to show very much. Oh yeah, by the way, we started at 75 KC. I have no idea how long this task is going to take me. I think it's a 1 in 20 or 1 in 25 for an Elite Clue, and 1 in 60 for the armor seeds. So, like I said, I'm hoping we get a few of the armor seeds before we finish the Elite Clues, but yeah, that's what we're starting at. Well, hello, good morning gamers. Last night I did a bunch of chests, and I think I started at 75, I said, so I did 14 chests and got nothing. Well, I mean, I got a bunch of really good stuff because it's Gauntlet, but nothing interesting or cool happened. So here we are, day 2, gonna keep going, and yeah. Hi. I will say, when I first started with Gauntlet on this account, I'll be the first to admit, I really had no clue what I was doing. I had done very minimal Gauntlet KC before, and most of it was on leagues, so it really doesn't count. But the more I'm doing it, the more I actually really like it. It's actually kind of fun to get to know all the little nuances of, like, the most efficient way to do things, or, like, where certain rooms can and will spawn more often, and how to do that efficiently. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but something about just sort of repeatedly doing a process and getting good at it feels rewarding. So, hopefully, not to say that I want to stay here forever, I would very much rather get a bunch of armor seeds and Elite Clues and then never come back, but I'm actually enjoying myself. Oh yeah, by the way, I went and looked it up, because I was a little bit uncertain before, but the Elite Clues are 1 in 20 from Corrupted Gauntlet, it's 1 in 25 from regular Gauntlet, which is why I was a little bit confused on which was which. But in looking that up, I noticed that the Crystal Weapon Seed and Crystal Armor Seed are actually 1 in 50 from the Corrupted Gauntlet. For some reason, I thought they were 1 in 60. I guess because the regular Gauntlet, they're 1 in 120, and I just figured, like, it would half it for some reason. But yeah, 1 in 50. I am now almost 2 times dry on the Armor Seed at 92 completions, so it's a little sad, but we're just gonna keep going. No clues yet. Also kind of sad. Well, that's KC number 100, meaning we are officially 2 times the drop rate for an armor seed. Man, I'm so dry at Gauntlet. I'm gonna complain about it. Okay, I'm done. Wow, look at that. It's a subscribe button. I didn't know that it dropped subscribe buttons. This is stupid. So today is my editing day, and I've just been cooking some fish, AFKing some stars and whatnot while I do that. And I actually managed to get, I actually managed to get 97 cooking. Neato. I just have, like, all this raw fish from Temperos that I'm just sort of working my way through, eventually going to get 99, hopefully. And I'm doing all the lower level fish first so that I can get the cooking cape, and that way I won't burn any of the good fish. But yeah, there you go. 97 cooking. Cool. So I actually just did the math to make sure, and yeah, if I use all of these supplies, aka the stuff that I won't burn, I will have to do the Karambwans at the Hosidius kitchen, but yeah, I won't burn any of these, and this is enough experience to get me to 99, and then I'll go and do the better fish with the cooking cape. So yeah, cool. There's no way I do 29 Corrupted Gauntlet KC with no Elite Clue, and then I go and mine some shooting stars for a couple hours while I edit, and I get an Elite Clue geode. I mean, thank you, game, but really? Oh yeah, also, I got 84 mining. Yay. And there is the Elite Casket from the Shooting Star geode. Let me go and bank stuff. It's gonna be really funny when I did all those hours of Gauntlet, and then I end up getting my last Elite Clue unique from 2 hours of Shooting Stars. So let's just open it and see what we got. Okay, well, back to the Gauntlet. No, not another weapon seed. Well, this is going to be kill number 125, meaning I have done 50 kills on this task, and not a single Elite Clue or Armor Seed. Very sad. I might go and swap to doing some Barrows. I still have a couple Barrows items left that I want to get, and it'll just be easier for me. I have been grinding Corrupted Gauntlet, and, you know, when you're only getting 5 to 6 kills an hour, this takes a really long time. So, yeah, I think I might switch it up a little bit just to give me a little break. As far as Barrows items go, I'm missing 2, the Darok's Legs and the Guthan's War Spear. And Darok's and Guthan's are, like, arguably the 2 best full sets to have, maybe along with Verax. So if I can get either of those, I'd be very happy. And yeah, Barrows is just a lot easier to do passively. I don't have to pay attention. I can just use my Gommel hilt, and yeah, it'll be a lot easier for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. At least I got an item. Jeez, I'm on chest 32 right now. Over double the drop rate, and my first item is an Aram's Hood. Great. Hey, let's go, an Elite Clue, finally! 56 chests. It took 50 Corrupted Gauntlet KC and 56 Barrows KC to get the same number of Elite Clues as, like, 2 hours of star mining, but we finally did it, another Elite Clue. And the casket. I'm feeling good about this one, and I don't know if that's just because I want to do something else, or if I actually feel good about it, but let's see. Okay, never mind. I guess we're going back to Barrows. Hey, let's go. And another casket. And now, for some reason, I don't feel good about this one, so it's probably going to be the one with the unique in it. Well, as a master. And I was able to get the master casket as well. It wasn't too bad. A little slow, but that's okay. Hey, let's go. My luck finally turning around. I got that first Elite Clue on 832 after 56 Barrows chests, and then since then I've gotten 2 more in the next, like, 12 kills. So that's pretty good. And another casket. Let me go bank. I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be a mimic. It would have been really cool if I called that. Wow, that's a terrible clue. Well, with that chest, I am at 100 Barrows chests on the task. 3 Elite Clues and 3 items. 3 Elite Clues is right around what I would expect, but 3 items is like half as much as I would expect. I think I should have seen around 6. So that's a little unlucky, but yeah, I'm getting about like 15 chests an hour here, which means on average I should get an Elite Clue every 2 hours, which is pretty good. And it's actually working out really well. If I use my Imbued Heart on Darok, I take about, on my most optimal runs, it takes me about 3.5 minutes, which means every 2 runs, my Imbued Heart is coming back right at the start, which is kind of cool. And yeah, I don't know, I've been doing this for a while now. I just wanted to give a little update. Hey, let's go. I now have more Elite Clues than I do Barrows items, so that's weird, but I guess that's good, because that's what I want. And the casket. Okay, game, how about you give me one new elite clue unique item? What is this? Okay, like, I know elite clues are bad, but, like, come on. What? Back to back, let's go. And another casket, very nice. Surely there's a unique in this one. No, but another master. I actually think this is one of the cooler stash units in the game. For the clue, you need a black d'hide body, chaps, and vambraces, but you need to bring them to Entrana, so you actually have to make them yourself on the island, bringing the raw materials, but because you can now build stash units, you can store them there and then take them out every time, which is kind of cool, a unique way of getting armor onto Entrana. The unfortunate part is you still do need to kill a level 141 double agent every time, and you don't have a weapon, so I guess I'm going to be kicking them to death, but yeah, I just thought this one was kind of cool. Yo, I can actually do this clue now. I have a dragon pickaxe. This is one of the ones that made me drop a bunch of master clues. Let's go. And a master casket. Very nice. There aren't any master clue unique tasks on the hard tier. The first ones are on the elite tier, so it'll still be a while before we actually get to open any of these. But as soon as we roll one of these tasks, that should be a very nice head start. Master clue tasks are going to be really annoying in the future if I don't already have the caskets. So banking these now is very good. But for now, we go back to Barrows. Hey, let's go. My Barrows item luck is terrible, but my elite clue luck is insane. Elite casket acquired. Any elite clue uniques for me, game? No. Man, RNG sure is crazy. 123 Barrows chests on this task, meaning I should have seen 4 elite clues and 8 items, and instead I have 6 elite clues and 3 items. Weird. The one I needed! Let's go! Break the dry streak with the new collection log? Heck yeah! That's actually so sick. I finally have full Daroks. I can, like, do Darok things. I don't know where that's, like, applicable these days, but for stuff like Giant Mole or anything where you can't take any damage, Darok is just really strong and good for melee training if I ever want to try and get, like, 99 defense at Nightmare Zone or something. So, yeah, sick. One more item to go, the Guthan's War Spear, and then we have green-logged Barrows. How cool is that? Man, I'm so pumped. Sometimes you just need a drop like that to really raise your spirits, give you that extra motivation to keep going. I've been doing this elite clue task for like 4 days now, maybe, including an editing day, so that's sort of like half a day. But yeah, I'm re-motivated, reinvigorated, I'm ready to go. Although now, if I do end up getting the Guthan's War Spear, I have no real reason to continue doing Barrows. I would have to go back to something like Corrupted Gauntlet, or some other way to get elite clues, just because I do want to be trying to do stuff in an efficient manner, and if I've already green-logged Barrows, there's no sense doing any more, so... Hey, and then an elite clue, let's go. And another casket. Alright, this is it. This is the one. We're done, right here. We're not done. We're gonna keep going. Hey, let's go. And another casket. Well, you know the deal at this point. Let's just open it. What is this, man? 34 pies and 2 shield? Whatever. Joke's on you. I didn't want to finish this task yet. I want to get my Guthan's War Spear. Wrong Guthan's piece, game. We did it! Guthan's War Spear! Let's go! That's crazy. Oh, it's green. Oh, look, it's so beautiful. I did not expect to get both those items before finishing this elite clue task, but oh, it's so good. Oh my goodness, look at the inventory. It's so beautiful. Anyways, enough of that. I'm sure you can guess by the fact that we're back in Prif, but looks like I'm going back to Corrupted Gauntlet. Maybe we can get an armor seed, perhaps? Or an elite clue, like my first elite clue from Corrupted Gauntlet this video would be cool too. So now that I have a little bit more experience with Corrupted Gauntlet, I wanted to go over sort of what I do, my method for getting fairly consistent 8 to 10 minute completions with a tier 1 armor prep. And maybe it'll help you guys out there. I know a lot of people struggle with Corrupted Gauntlet, so maybe just listening to what I do and sort of how I do it might help one of you guys out there. And yeah, I'm just going to put some footage in the background of what's going on and talk a little bit about it. As many of you know, I like to learn by doing. I'll usually look up a video or a guide of some sort for a gear setup and a basic understanding of mechanics, but generally I like to just go in there and do it and learn for myself and create a method that I enjoy, regardless of how efficient it is. Just something that makes it easy for me to do consistently is sort of my top priority. So this is what I came up with for Corrupted Gauntlet. I like to try and split up my prep into 2 phases. The first for gathering resources, and the second for getting my weapon upgrades and collecting the last of my food for the final fight. So for phase 1, I'm looking for 1 rock, 1 tree, 1 plant, 3 fishing spots, 2 herbs, and a weapon frame, preferably from the mid-tier enemies. That way they're guaranteed to drop a weapon frame. If you can't find one of those, you can kill the small enemies for the 50-50 chance. So by the time I make it back to the main room after my first phase, my inventory should have the Crystal Harpoon, the Crystal Scepter, and the Pestle and Mortar that you start with, 3 of each of the resources, being the bark, the plant, and the ore, 12 fish, 1 weapon frame, and 2 herbs, along with at least 220 crystal shards. And I know this sounds very specific, but when you're actually doing it, it all just sort of makes sense, and that lets me make all the things that I'll need for phase 2. So I then convert all the resources that I gathered into the things that I want, which are a tier 1 helmet, chest, and legs, a tier 2 weapon, and whichever weapon I choose depends on if I find any of the bosses on the outside rooms. If I find a boss, I'll make the corresponding weapon. If I don't find any bosses, I'll just make a halberd, because I don't have rigor or augury. Piety is going to mean that the halberd is the highest DPS. I make 2 vials, fill them with water, put the herbs in, crush up 20 shards, make 2 potions. I then drop the pestle and mortar because you don't really need it anymore. And I'll usually drop a few fish just to make sure I have room for phase 2. I then initiate phase 2, which the only real objective of phase 2 is to go and kill 2 of the bosses to get my weapon upgrades. And I don't really care which 2 at this point. When I was first learning, I made sure that I got an upgraded bow and an upgraded staff, because using the halberd on the Hunlef fight is really annoying. But at this point, I'm pretty comfortable with it, and in fact, now I prefer the halberd, because like I said, piety means the halberd is going to be more DPS. But when you're first learning, it's best to find either a Dark Beast and a Dragon, or just any 3 bosses, because then when you kill them all, you get all 3 upgrades. And make sure that you have enough shards to make your second weapon, along with a weapon frame from the bosses, which are another guaranteed drop. And fill the inventory with fish. And that's all I do. I go out, get my weapon upgrades, get enough fish, along with the fish that I've dropped on the ground to have enough for the fight. Usually I aim for 20 to 24 fish because, you know, that way it's a little bit safer. And yeah, go and make my weapons, go and cook my fish, and go and start the Hunlef fight. For the Hunlef fight, I don't really know what I could say here that hasn't been said in 100 videos before mine. There are tons of good videos and guides out there on how to kill Hunlef that are going to be way more informative than what I'm about to say. So I'm going to say a couple things that I think I don't hear a lot in those videos that actually really help me in my consistency on my Hunlef kills. The first thing I would do before even starting the fight is tag Hunlef and set the tag style to true tile. That way you can see the area that he occupies that you'll get trampled if you stand on, and essentially just treat it like the bad tiles on the floor. Just always avoid it, knowing that you'll always take damage if you go under there. And you can sort of do the same thing with the tiles where you can go sort of across it diagonally as long as you never stop underneath him. But when you're first learning, just avoid it at all costs. Couple other useful things. As you can see when I'm killing Hunlef, I have 8 tiles marked on the floor in sets of 2, sort of in a square around the middle. Those tiles are always going to be safe in phase 3 from the bad tiles on the floor. So when there's no tornadoes, you know, as long as you're standing on one of those 8 tiles, you're never going to have to move, which is really convenient when you're either eating or when you are switching prayers and switching weapons or whatever. You don't need to worry about moving. You just stand there, plant, and do your thing. And the last thing, and maybe this is the most important thing, don't panic, which is a lot easier said than done, but you can sort of go through a priority list of the most important things to look out for. Number one, I would say, is tornadoes. Obviously, if there's tornadoes out, that is your top priority. If you stand still while there are tornadoes, you will die. Number two, I would say, is the bad tiles on the floor. They do a lot of damage very quickly. It's like 15 to 20 damage a tick, so really make sure you're not on those. Number three is probably making sure you're praying correctly. This is easier than you'd think. You can actually, it's very predictable. He switches attack styles every 4 attacks, so if you want to count, you can. But there's a plugin called Hunlift Helper. As long as you click start at the start of the fight and sync it up to when he's switching attack styles, it'll call out every time you need to switch prayers, which I use on all of my kills. Even though I'm pretty used to it at this point, I still just like having him there telling me what to pray, and it just makes things a lot easier. You don't have to worry about that aspect of it. And then number four is actually, making sure you're using the right weapon, you have your right offensive prayer on, that you have time to attack him. Your main three priorities are living and not dying. So as long as you're doing that and not panicking, you should be fine. But that's probably it for this post commentary. I hope something that I mentioned will help you get potentially your first Corrupted Gauntlet KC, and let's go back to the video. Well, that's another 20 Corrupted Gauntlet chests with no Elite Clue or Armor Seed. I'm a little annoyed at this point, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, a Crystal Imp. I'm happy again. Never mind, I take it back. I do think it is a little interesting. I mean, obviously my task is for Elite Clues, but ignoring that, if I were just doing Corrupted Gauntlet to try and get the full Crystal Armor set with a Bofa, surprisingly, I think getting the Bofa first before any armor seeds is, like, strangely demotivating. I think that, like, when you know you only have one drop left to get, even though it is the most rare one, the Bofa seed, if that was the case for you, then at least you know, like, once you get it, you're done. For me, I'm 150 or almost 150 chests in here with no armor seed, but I know that even when I get my first armor seed, I still need 5 more after it, and something about that's, like, really demotivating. I don't know why. Like, objectively, it is better to have the enhanced weapon seed first, and I probably wouldn't change it if someone offered me, like, for example, to either have all 6 armor seeds first or the enhanced seed first. Obviously, the enhanced weapon seed is better to have first, but something about it, I don't know, I really don't want to do more Corrupted Gauntlet right now, but I know that in the long run, I'm going to love Crystal Armor, and it's going to be worth it, and I need to keep doing it, and it is still good for Elite Clues, in theory, at least. I mean, in practice, it hasn't been, but hopefully that changes soon, too. This has got to be some sort of sick joke, right? I go to do a little bit more star mining so I can do some editing, and within, like, 5 minutes, I get another Elite Clue. I've done 71 Corrupted Gauntlet KC without an Elite Clue, and I've done, like, 2.5, maybe 3 hours of mining stars and gotten 2. This is so sad. I mean, I'm happy, don't get me wrong. This is great, but what the heck? Well, I guess I might as well go do it now. I mean, I want to get another one while I'm editing, so might as well do it first. And the Elite Casket. I don't know why, like, it's the same casket, it's just an Elite Casket, but for some reason, the fact that I got it from star mining, I don't feel good about it. I don't know why, but let's just open it. Yeah, okay. Are you kidding me? I got another one! What is this? And there's a casket. Alright, surely we're done here, right? Oh my goodness, we're done! Let's go! Shazian Scarf, I've never been so happy to see you. The rest of the clue, absolute garbage, 54k, but you know what? I'm so happy I get to do something else! I just went back and looked, and we started the task at 40 Elite Clues completed, and we're now at 65, so those 2 uniques took 25 Elite Clues, which, you know, sucks, but at least we're done, and we can go and roll a new task. I have no idea how much content I actually have for the video, but I've been playing like 8, 9, 10 hours a day for almost a week now, so I'm very happy to complete this task and move on to a new one. Let's see what we're gonna do next video. Get a unique egg sack from the grubby chest. Okay. This is going to be the second and final grubby chest egg sack task. I need to get the other color that I don't have. I don't know what it's in. There it is. The orange egg sack. And I actually have an idea of how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to save that for the next video. So that's going to have to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't really know what the format of this video is going to be yet, but I've spent a long time on this video. Like I said, you know, 8, 9, 10-hour days just grinding either Corrupted Gauntlet or Barrows or whatever. So if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like button. It's free and it takes like 2 seconds and it really helps me out. So you should go and do it right now. Thank you. In the next video, I'll tell you about my plan to get these grubby keys, and hopefully it won't take nearly as long as this one. But yeah, that's going to have to be it from me. I will see you guys in the next video. And a big thank you to all of my channel members, but a special thank you to my Tier 3 Big Spoon channel members, Alchemist BTW, Jack Staumer, Zach Martin, Luxitaire, Tony Adkins, and Dolph. Thank you guys, and thank you everyone on screen here for the support.